Here in Miami, just a little ways from the beaches of Florida's Gold Coast, this football contest takes place. And we don't need to worry about the weather because it is absolutely gorgeous out here for tonight's game between the Florida State Seminoles and the Hurricanes of Miami. I'm Brad Nessler, joined in the booth as always by Lee Corso and Kirk Herbstreit. You ready for a rivalry matchup? As always, when these two teams get together, they just don't play to win, they play to destroy each other. I really can't decide who has the advantage here. This is just too close to call. How about your thoughts, Lee?
Okay, here it is. Miami is one of the most patient teams you'll find. Against this tough defense, I would expect them to be a little bit more frustrated at times and maybe force things that aren't there. Kirk, I think this frustration will lead to turnovers, and they won't be able to overcome those costly mistakes.
Well, Lee, I think you're wrong, and here's why. Miami has a quarterback who, in my opinion, is one of the best leaders I've seen put on a college uniform. Now, Coach and I had a chance to talk with him earlier, and he said that he wasn't going to get caught up in any of the pregame hype, that he was going to just stay focused on the game. Brad, this guy impresses me with his maturity as well as his physical abilities. I think they'll win this game behind a strong individual performance by their outstanding quarterback.
Florida State has won the toss and elects to play offense first.
We'll see how these two teams play in this game as they prepare for the opening kickoff. He kicks it. Number 22 fields it in the end zone.
The kickoff is down for a touchback.
Ball on the 21. It's 1st and 10. Florida State comes to the line, only one man in the backfield. Tries to shoot, and he's going to lose yards on this one. Didn't get anything.
No gain on the play.
Second and 10, ball on the 20. Miami lines up defensively in a 4-3. Little shake and bake move. Gets past the tackler. Number 94 with a takedown at the 26-yard line. And he carried that one for a few yards.
You know, when you have a guy like that who can grab 5 yards or so consistently, it sure keeps some pressure off the passing game.
Ball on the 26-yard line. It's 3rd down and 4 to go. Florida State comes out with an I formation. He drops back. He's looking for his man. Bounces off the would-be tackler. That'll be a 2-yard loss.
2 yards.
Fourth and 7. Ball on the 23. Number 1 back to return it. He punts it. Number 1 fields it at the 34. Ball on their own 33. It's 1st and 10. The Hurricanes set up in the gun.
33-yard line.
Back to throw. He lets it go. And they couldn't hook up on that one. And that one got knocked away.
Hey, if you can't get the interception, just knock it down. Nice job there, guy.
Ball on the 33. Ace backfield.
And 10 at the 33-yard line.
Number 11 drops back. Lets it fly. Number 9 drops the ball. 3rd and 10. Ball on the 33-yard line. Number 4 lines up as a single back. Drops to throw. He's got the first. That's a good 9-yard gain. It is 4th down and inches. Ball on the 43-yard line. Number 21, back deep to return. He gets it off. Number 21 takes it at the 20. It's 1st and 10. Ball on the 19-yard line. Miami going with a 3-man front.
1st and 10.
And they make the stop at the 25-yard line. Well, Coach, he picked up a few yards on that one.
Brad, tough running by this kid.
A 2nd down and 3 to go. The Seminoles line up in an I formation.
2nd and 3 at the 25-yard line.
Number 17 brings him down for a loss. Didn't get anything.
On the play.
Ball on the 25-yard line. The Hurricanes bring in the nickel package.
25-yard line.
Steps back to pass. Lets it go. 1st down. Number 8 brings him down at the 47-yard line. Oh, my, that long gain gives him a 1st down, Coach.
A 1st down and a nice pass play. Knowing you can convert on 3rd and long will open up your offense a little bit more on 1st and 2nd. Let's see what they do from here.
Ball on the 47. 4-3 defense.
10 at the 47-yard line.
He jukes him. And he's taken down at the 50. 3 yards there on the play. Second and 6 coming up here. Ball on the 50. Nickel defense.
And 6 at the 50-yard line.
Number 4 drops back to pass. Deep pass down the right side, and it's caught. And down he goes at the 17-yard line. How about your assessment of that long play, Kurt?
Well, Brad, not only a big pass play, but anytime you can stretch a defense on 1st or 2nd down like this, you're going to open up your running game.
They're in the red zone. The Hurricanes use a 4-man front here. Back to pass. He lets it go, and it's incomplete. That one way too far out in front.
You know what, guys? That's what I refer to as a radio ball. You can hear it, you just can't see it. And if the receiver can't see it, then he's not going to catch it.
Ball on the 17. Florida State goes with the ace set here.
2nd and 10 at the 17-yard line.
Throws it out there. Complete. Number 29 with a takedown at the 10. He jumped up and snagged that ball.
Well, the quarterback threw the ball too high. Credit his receiver for going up to make the play.
Florida State comes out with an I formation.
10-yard line.
Gets the ball. No, they faked it. Fires across the middle. Coach, how about that play?
Yo, was that a sensational pass or what?
And he tacks on the extra point. Florida State lines up for the kickoff. Here's the kick. Number 5 fields it in the end zone. Ball on their own 21. 1st and 10. Number 11 is back in the gun, drops back. He passes it, and it's caught. Number 10 brings him down at the 29. And he threw that ball in there nicely. Did you see that, Coach?
Yes, I did, Brad, and that was a good pass and a very good game.
Ball on the 29, 2nd and 1. They line up in an I.
One at the 29-yard line.
Spin move. They'll wrestle him down in the backfield. Loss of about 2.
At the 27-yard line for a loss of 2 yards.
It's 3rd down and 3 to go. Florida State comes out in a 4-3, drops to throw, rifles it right side. He's got the first. Oh, my, that long gain gives him a first down, Coach.
A first down and a nice pass play. Knowing you can convert on 3rd and long will open up your offense a little bit more on 1st and 2nd. Let's see what they do from here.
1st and 10. The Hurricanes come out in the ace formation.
1st and 10 at the 43-yard line.
He spins around, sheds that one. Number 58 with a takedown at midfield. He got a nice pickup on that one.
Hey, you guys, watch out for this kid.
Second and 2 coming up here. Ball on the 50. Florida State comes out defensively with 6 defensive backs. They're coming. Number 7 brings him down at the 49-yard line. He didn't really have a chance on that play.
Boy, guys, how about the defense on this play? They sniffed that play out from the start.
Ball right around midfield. They're crowding that line of scrimmage.
3rd and short.
They're coming. Number 12 with a takedown at the 48. 1 yard on the play. First and 10. Ball on the 48-yard line. Florida State lines up defensively in a 3-4. Drops back. Lets it fly. Loss of 7.
Number 4 for a loss of 7 yards.
Eighth play of this drive coming up. The Seminoles bring in the nickel package. Drops back to pass. Number 5 makes a catch. Hey, what a great catch.
Yeah, he was aware of where the sideline was and made sure he stayed in bounds when he caught the ball.
Ball on their own 47. 3rd and long. The Seminoles bring in their dime package. He drops back. He unloads it. Incomplete pass. They got some good pressure on him there.
Yeah, but don't forget the fact that nobody was open. That was good coverage, too.
Ball on their own 47. Number 21, the return man. He punts it. Oh, that was a beautiful punt.
Oh, you can say that again. That's very good accuracy to be able to pin them back deep like that. That was a good one.
First and 10. Number 20, alone in the backfield. Gets the ball. No, they faked it. Deep pass down the left side. Number 31 bats it down. Well, he tried to thread the needle with that pass.
Well, here the quarterback makes a poor decision throwing into coverage. Needs to look at his progression and find the second and third receiver.
Second and 10. Ball on the 16-yard line. Florida State lines up in the ace set. Takes a pitch. Number 29 tackles him for a loss on the play. They lose 4 there. Ball on their own 12. Florida State sets up in the I. Back to pass. Now he's scrambling. He throws it. And that one's fallen incomplete. It looks like he overthrew him on that one.
I'll tell you, I think the quarterback got rid of that one too quickly, Kirk.
Well, Coach, you're right. They need to work on their timing a little bit more.
Ball on their own 12. Number 1 awaiting the return. Number 37 gets it off. Number 1 takes it at the 43. He just got shut down on the punt return.
Yeah, in situations like that, Brad, it's probably best if you just call for a fair catch.
Ball on the 43-yard line. First and 10. Florida State lines up in a dime defense here. He unloads it. Complete. Number 8 brings him down at the 50-yard line. Nice little pattern there.
Yeah, he had great position there, and that ball was thrown in the right spot.
Second and 3. Going with the shotgun here.
At the 50-yard line.
Number 10 with a takedown at the 41-yard line. Ball on the 41-yard line. Florida State lines up defensively at a 4-3. They'll bring him down at the 39-yard line. They'll get 2 on that one.
A gain of 2 on the play.
A second down and 7 to go. Ball on the 39-yard line. The Hurricanes come out in the shotgun.
39-yard line.
Tackle at the 37-yard line. And he was pretty much stuffed on that run.
You know what, that was just a nice job by the defense in stopping him before he could get going and build up momentum.
Fifth play of this drive coming up. Florida State comes out in a 3-4, drops back. He passes it, and they couldn't hook up on that one. Ball on the 37-yard line. It's 4th down now, 5 yards to go. Number 16 comes out to try a long field goal. This is going to test his power. The kick is up. And it sails right on him. No good. First and 10. Ball on the 37. High formation here.
First and 10 at the 37.
And he's taken down at the 40. Coach, he picked up a few on that one before they got to him.
This was a well-executed running play, Brad.
It's 2nd down and 6 to go. Florida State comes out with an I formation. He drops back. He lets it go. Incomplete. Ball on the 40-yard line. Miami comes out defensively with 6 defensive backs. He guns it to the right. First down. It's 1st and 10. Ball on the 49-yard line. Defense lines up in a 4-3. Back to pass. Lets it fly. It falls incomplete. Ball on the 49-yard line. It's 2nd down and 10 to go. Miami lines up defensively in a 4-3. Number 4 still has it. Number 4 is going to be sacked for a loss. Loss of 7. Ball on their own 45. Passing situation here on 3rd and long. The Seminoles set up in the gun. He drops back. He lets it go. And it's caught. Number 29 brings him down at the 35. Wow, how about that 3rd down conversion?
Boy, what a play here, guys. I'm really impressed with the poise of this young quarterback. He was very cool and collected out there on that 3rd and long play.
It's 1st and 10. Ball on the 35-yard line. Miami comes out in a 4-3. Jufu. They'll bring him down at the 33-yard line. He picks up a yard on the play. Ball on the 33. It's 2nd down and 8 to go. Bounces off the would-be tackler. Nothing doing. Tackled for a loss on the play. They lose 3 yards there.
3 yards.
This is the 9th play of this drive. They come out in a nickel. Back to throw. He throws it. Complete. He finally goes down at the 8-yard line. To number 80 for a 29-yard gain. Number 4 lines up in the shotgun. Steps back to pass. Throws it out there. And it's caught. And he's tackled at the 7-yard line. Just a yard there.
Gain of 1 on the play.
Miami lines up defensively in a 4-3.
Second and goal. 7 yards.
He spins around. They'll bring him down at the 4-yard line. 2-yard pickup.
Gain of 2 on the play.
They put everyone up on the line.
At the 4-yard line.
Touchdown! Kirk, that was a nice touchdown run.
Yeah, it was. Excellent blocking here, and a nice job of the ball carrier to get in there for the touchdown.
And he hits the PAT.
Is good.
Florida State ready to kick this one off.
Number 5 and number 1.
He kicks it.
Receive.
Number 5 fields it at the 1. Loses the football. Number 12 recovers a loose ball. Ball on the 13-yard line. The Seminoles come to the line with their jumbo pass. Back to pass. He unloads it. Complete. Number 8 with a takedown at the 6-yard line. That's a 7-yard gain.
7 yards.
They're crowding the line. He jukes. Brought down at the 5-yard line.
Stopped for no gain.
They put everyone up on the line.
At the 5-yard line.
And he's hammered down. After a quarter of play, our score is Florida State 14, Miami nothing. Now the teams have switched sides and we're ready for the start of the second quarter. They're going to go for the easy 3 here. He gets it up, and it's right down the middle. Florida State lines up for the kickoff. Number 1 and number 0 back ready to return. Number 49 kicks it off. Number 5 fields it at the 3.
Kickoff return 22 yards by number 5.
Ball on their own 25. 1st and 10. The defense lines up with 6 DBs. Lets it fly. Back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it.
Number 5 for a 1-yard gain.
Ball on the 26-yard line. Miami comes out in the shotgun.
At the 26-yard line.
Number 11 steps back to pass. He's got the first. It's 1st and 10. Ace backfield, drops back to pass. Number 11 is going to be sacked for a loss.
Personal foul, illegal block, offense.
That's a 15-yard penalty.
Ball on the 24-yard line. It's 1st and a mile. Miami lines up in a shotgun set. Drops back to pass. He lets it go deep down the middle. And it's caught. Number 58 brings him down at the 33-yard line. And they pick up 9 there. Ball on the 33. The Hurricanes come out in the ace formation. He's looking for his man, and they make the stop at the 48-yard line.
For a gain of 15 yards.
Ball right around midfield. Number 4 lines up as a single back. Number 11 is going to be sacked for a loss. And they lose a couple there.
2 yards on the play.
Fourth and 7. Number 21 back to return it. He gets it off. Number 21 takes it at the 16.
Number 21.
First and 10. Miami going with a 3-man front. And down he goes at the 20. Well, he worked hard for those yards, Coach.
Yeah, Brad, this kid is a hard-nosed player. He gives that kind of effort every single play.
It's 2nd down and 5 to go. Ball on the 20-yard line. The Seminoles set up in the gun. Drops to throw. He unloads it. Incomplete pass. What happened there, Kirk?
Well, as a quarterback, you usually want to put the ball in front of the receiver so he can catch it in stride. Here he just put it a little bit too far in front.
Third and 5 coming up. Ball on the 20-yard line. The Seminoles come out in the shotgun. Juke move. Number 98 with a takedown at the 22. Couple of yards there. Ball on the 22. Number 1 back deep to return. Number 37 gets it off. Number 1 fields it at the 35. Ball on their own 34. 1st and 10. The Seminoles use a 4-man front here. He drops back. Lets it go. Complete. And they make the stop at the 48. How about that pass, Kirk?
You know, guys, one of the things often overlooked in college football is the relationship between a quarterback and his receiver. Here, you can see that these two are definitely on the same page.
It's 1st and 10. Miami comes out in the shotgun, drops back to pass. He throws it, and it falls incomplete. There was a lot of pressure on the quarterback there.
Yeah, he had to get rid of it in a hurry, and that's why his pass was off.
Ball on their own 48. Florida State lines up defensively in a 3-4. Number 11 drops back, gives a little pump fake, fires a bullet out to the right. Number 9 drops it. Ball on their own 48. The Seminoles bring in the nickel package. And it's caught. They'll bring him down at the 47. A pickup of 5.
Number 1, a gain of 5 on the play.
Ball on the 47-yard line. 4th and 4. Number 21, the return man. Number 13 gets it off. Ball on the 21-yard line. It's 1st and 10. The Seminoles go with the I formation.
1st and 10 at the 21-yard line.
Drops to throw. Guns it across the middle. Number 88 hangs on to it. And they finally bring him down at the 50-yard line. And he delivered a nice pass there, Coach.
Now, this is what I'm talking about. I like what this coach is doing here by opening up his playbook. It's going to have the defense calling for mercy soon.
Ball on the 50. 1st and 10. Four-man front by the defense.
At the 50-yard line.
Number 48 brings him down at midfield. He was stopped in his tracks on that one.
Oh, yeah, and that's because of the nice pursuit by the defense there.
2nd and 9 coming up here. Ball on the 50. The Hurricanes come out in a 4-3. He lets it go. And it's knocked away. And they do a good job at swatting that one away.
You're right, Brad. Excellent awareness by the defender to know where the football is and get his hand on it.
Now it's 3rd and 9 coming up. Ball on the 50. Miami lines up in a dime defense here. Back to pass. He rifles it to the left. Number 31 tips it away. And an outstanding play defensively.
Yeah, he timed it perfectly and managed to get a hand in there to deflect the ball away.
Ball right around midfield. Number 1 awaiting the return. Bunts the ball away. Coach, how do these punters pin the ball deep like that?
That's due to hours and hours of practice. I'll bet that kid has practiced that punt 1,000 times.
It's 1st and 10. The Seminoles come out into 34 defense. Steps back to pass. Heaves a long one down the middle. First down, and they finally tackle him at the 50. What do you think of that one, Mr. Corso?
Well, I'm going to say that was a nice catch. He got a bunch of yards there, and that's going to spread this defense out a little.
It's 1st and 10. The Seminoles bring in the nickel package. Drops back. And that one's fallen incomplete. Ball on the 50. The Hurricanes line up in an I formation.
And 10 at the 50-yard line.
He drops back. He's looking for his man, number 28, with a takedown at the 38-yard line. So they pick up quite a few yards on that play, Kirk.
Well, that was an excellent route, and he did a great job of holding on to the football.
Ball on the 38. Defense lines up in a 4-3. He drops back, throws it out there, and he's tackled at the 20. How about that pass, Kirk?
You know, guys, one of the things often overlooked in college football is the relationship between a quarterback and his receiver. Here, you can see that these two are definitely on the same page.
First and 10. Ball on the 20. The Hurricanes go with the I formation. And he's stopped behind the line. Loss of about 2.
To 23-yard line for a loss of 2 yards.
This is the 6th play of this drive. Miami sets up in the I. He drops back. Complete. Number 44 brings him down at the 20. The defense is all over that pass.
Like glue. I'm telling you, this defense is tough.
Ball on the 20-yard line. 3rd and 10. Going with the shotgun here. He drops back. He guns it to the left. Number 1 with a catch. How about that one, Lee?
Brad, this is exactly what you love to see as a coach. Great communication between the quarterback and his receiver. And the results? 6. A touchdown.
And he tacks on the extra point. Miami to kick this one off. Number 16 kicks it off. Number 20 fields it in the end zone. Ball on their own 13, 1st and 10. The Hurricanes put 4 men up front. Gets a pitch. Number 8 with a takedown at the 14. They got him tied up and he couldn't get anywhere.
Brad, I loved how that defense attacked this run.
Second and 9 coming up here. Florida State comes out with an I formation. Drops back. Lets it go. Batted away. There was a lot of pressure on the quarterback there.
Yeah, he had to get rid of him in a hurry, and that's why his pass was off.
Third and 9. Ball on their own 14. Miami comes out defensively with 6 defensive backs. Number 4 drops to throw. He lets it go. And they make the stop at the 12-yard line. Drop back a yard. Fourth down and 10. Number 1 back to return it. Number 37 gets it off. Number 1 takes it at the 47. Ball right around midfield. Number 4 is the deep back as they line up in the I. He drops back. He's looking for his man. Tipped away. And they do a good job at swatting that one away.
You're right, Brad. Excellent awareness by the defender to know where the football is and get his hand on it.
Ball on the 48-yard line. It's second down and 10 to go. The Hurricanes line up in an I formation. Number 4 gets a toss. Number 12 tackles him for a loss on the play. And they back up 3 yards on that play.
3 yards.
Ball on the 50. The Seminoles bring in the nickel package. Number 10 brings him down at the 41. They get about 10 yards on that play. Ball on the 41-yard line. Number 21 back deep to return. Number 13 gets it off. It's 1st and 10. Ball on the 21. The Hurricanes use a 4-man front here. Number 20 with a takedown at the 22-yard line. 1 yard on the play. Ball on their own 22. Miami comes out in a 4-3. Drops back to pass. Fires a bullet out to the right. He's got the first. They'll bring him down at the 43. That one was nearly overthrown.
Boy, the receiver makes a great play by putting his hands up. He had enough vertical leap to get his hands on it.
Ball on their own 43. It's 1st and 10. Miami lines up defensively in a 4-3. Number 4 steps back to pass. He passes it. Number 20 has it. Number 29 brings him down at the 41-yard line. Taken back a yard. Ball on the 41-yard line. The Seminoles come out in the ace formation. They'll wrestle him down in the backfield. That'll be a loss of 1. Ball on their own 40. They line up in an I. Drops back to pass. Number 98 with a takedown at the 42. That'll be a 2-yard gain.
Complete to number 20.
Ball on the 42. 4th down and 10. Number 1, the return man. Number 37 gets it off. This one's going to go out of bounds at the 26-yard line. It's 1st and 10. Ball on their own 26. Miami goes with the ace set here. Drops back to pass. He throws it. And that one's fallen incomplete. What happened there, Kirk?
Well, as a quarterback, you usually want to put the ball in front of the receiver so he can catch it in stride. Here he just put it a little bit too far in front.
Ball on the 26-yard line. So it's 2nd and 10. The Hurricanes line up in an I formation.
6-yard line.
Number 90 brings him down at the 29-yard line. A pickup of about 3.
Gain of 3 on the play.
Ball on the 29. 3rd and 6. The Seminoles bring in their dime package. Drops back to pass. And it falls incomplete. They got some good pressure on him there.
Yeah, but don't forget the fact that nobody was open. That was good coverage, too.
Ball on the 29-yard line. It's 4th down and 6 yards to go. Number 21 awaiting the return. Number 13 gets it off. Number 21 takes it at the 23. Ball on their own 22. It's 1st and 10. Florida State lines up in a shotgun set. Back to pass. Throws it out there. Incomplete. It's 2nd down and 10 to go. Number 20 lines up in the deep back, I formation. Drops back to pass. Loss of 5 there.
Number 20. Loss of 5 yards.
Ball on the 16. Florida State comes out in the shotgun. Back to throw. Lets it fly. And he's taken down at the 13-yard line. That'll be a 2-yard loss. 4th and long. Ball on the 13-yard line. Number 1 back to return it. Punts the ball away. Number 1 takes it at the 47. First and 10. Florida State comes out in a 4-3. Number 11 back to pass. He lets it go. Number 9 makes the catch. They gain 5 yards there.
Gain of 5 on the play.
Ball on the 49-yard line. Number 4 lines up as a single back, drops to throw. He's looking for his man. Number 3 hangs on to it. That ball was thrown high.
Yeah, but this receiver knew he could jump up and get it. Great play.
First and 10. Ball on the 30-yard line. Florida State lines up defensively in a 4-3. And it's caught. They'll bring him down at the 29-yard line. Couldn't get anything out of that. Ball on the 29-yard line. 2nd and 9. Drops back to pass. Now he's scrambling. Throws it out there. Number 9 drops the ball. And there was a lot of pressure on the quarterback there.
Yeah, he had to get rid of it in a hurry, and that's why his pass was off.
Ball on the 29-yard line. Miami comes out with an I formation.
29-yard line.
Number 11 back to pass. He's rolling right. He unloads it. Complete. First down. And he's shoved out of bounds at the 12. They convert on 3rd and long, guys.
With the offense coming through in a big way that time. How about the timing on that route, Coach?
Yeah, Kirk, the quarterback was able to throw to a spot, and the receiver was there to catch it for a 1st and 10. Nice play.
They're threatening inside the 20. Florida State comes out in a 4-3. And they make the stop at the 8-yard line. That's a 3-yard pickup.
The offense takes a timeout.
Florida State lines up defensively in a 4-3. Nice spin move. And he's tackled at the 7-yard line.
Timeout called by the offense. Gain of 1 on the play.
The Hurricanes set up in the gun.
The 7-yard line.
Drops to throw. He passes it. Number 10 with the interception. Number 4 with a takedown at the 24-yard line. And they turn it over right before the half.
Well, this really hurts them here. They're trying to cut into that lead before they got into the showers for halftime, but unfortunately, this turnover will still leave them down as they get into the locker room.
First and 10. Florida State sets up in the I.
24-yard line.
He drops back. He's going long. Incomplete pass. What happened there, Kirk?
Well, as a quarterback, you usually want to put the ball in front of the receiver so he can catch it in stride. Here he just put it a little bit too far in front.
Ball on the 24. So it's 2nd and 10. Nickel defense. Drops back to pass. Throws it out there. And it's caught. Tackle at the 39.
Timeout called by the offense. Gain of 14 yards.
Ball on their own 39. It's 1st and 10. Miami comes out in a 4-3. Back to pass. He's going to try and scramble. Number 4 is going to be sacked for a loss.
The offense takes a timeout. 5 yards on the play.
Ball on their own 34. They'll bring in their dime package. Drops back to pass. He fires right. It falls incomplete. Well, he tried to thread the needle with that pass.
Well, here the quarterback makes a poor decision throwing into coverage. Needs to look at his progression and find the second and third receiver.
Ball on the 34-yard line. The Hurricanes line up with 6 defensive backs. And down he goes at the 38-yard line.
The defense takes a timeout.
Ball on the 38-yard line. Number 1 back deep to return. He punts it. Number 1 takes it at the 12. First and 10. Ball on the 12-yard line. The Seminoles come out in a 4-3. Number 3 brings him down at the 13. He was stopped in his tracks on that one.
Oh, yeah, and that's because of the nice pursuit by the defense there.
Ball on their own 13. 2nd and 8 coming up here. And that'll do it for the first half of play. Our halftime score, Florida State 17, Miami 7. Florida State got the ball to start the game, so they'll be kicking off to start the second half. Here's the kick. Number 1 fields it at the 3. Didn't get much of a return there.
Oh, that was a fine job right there by the coverage team. They stayed in their lanes, and they took good pursuit angles.
First and 10. Ball on the 15-yard line. Florida State comes out in a 3-4. Drops to throw. Lets it fly. Number 9 with a takedown at the 11. 3-yard loss there. They'll get the ball here at the 11-yard line. The Hurricanes come out in a shotgun. Back to pass. Rolls to the right. Number 58 comes away with a sack. 8 yards back on the play.
8 yards on the play.
Third down and long coming up here. Ball on their own 2. Florida State comes out in a 4-3. He jukes. Number 28 brings him down at the 4-yard line. They get a yard on the play. Ball on their own 4. It's 4th down and a long ways to go. Number 21, the return man. He gets it away. Number 21 takes it at the 49.
Number 21.
Ball on the 49. Number 20 is the deep back as they line up in the I. He drops back. Rolls right. He lets it go. And it's caught. And he hauled that one in for a first down.
Well, that's a big-time play. Did an excellent job there of getting separation from the defender, and he's able to pull down that pass for quite a few yards.
Number 20 lines up in the deep back, I formation.
First and goal at the 7-yard line.
Little shake and bake move. And he's going to lose yards on this one. Drop back a yard. The Hurricanes line up in a 3-4. Number 4 steps back to pass. Complete. He's got it. Touchdown. And a nice connection for the score, Coach.
Yep. The defense can forget about it.
I got to see that touchdown again.
Yeah, Brad, this is really a good-looking throw by the quarterback and a nice catch, too. They were definitely on the same page there.
And he hits the PAT. Florida State ready to kick this one off. Number 5 and number 1 back deep to return. Number 49 kicks it off. Number 5 takes it at the 8. It's 1st and 10. Ball on the 26. The Hurricanes line up in an I formation. Steps back to pass. He throws it. And it falls incomplete. Ball on the 26. The Hurricanes come out in the shotgun. Drops back. Fires across the middle. And he can't make the catch. Ball on the 26. 3rd and 10. Florida State brings in their nickel package. Back to pass. He guns it to the right. Number 8 knocks it away. And an outstanding play defensively.
Yeah, he timed it perfectly and managed to get a hand in there to deflect the ball away.
It's 4th down and 10 yards to go. Ball on their own 26. Number 21 awaiting the return. Punts the ball away. Number 21 fields it at the 30.
Number 21.
Ball on their own 29. Number 20 lines up as a single back.
1st and 10 at the 29-yard line.
Tries to juke. Number 17 with a takedown at the 32. Gain of 2. Ball on the 32. Miami lines up defensively in a 4-3. And he's stopped behind the line. Loss of a yard.
To the 30-yard line for a loss of a yard.
Ball on the 30-yard line. It's 3rd down and 9 to go. Miami comes out defensively with 6 defensive backs. Throws it out there. Number 20 bats it down. Coach, he made a nice defensive play there.
He sure did. He just stuck his hand out and hit the football.
Fourth and 9 coming up here. Ball on the 30-yard line. Number 1 back to return it. Number 37 gets it off. Number 1 fields it at the 31.
Catch made by number
1. Ball on the 30-yard line. 1st and 10. Defense lines up in a 4-3. Drops to throw. He's looking for his man. He stayed in bounds on that catch.
Heck of a catch by the receiver. The quarterback threw the ball off target, but luckily he's got receivers like this guy.
Ball right around midfield. They come out in a nickel. Number 11 steps back to pass. Gives a little pump fake. Rolls to the right. Fires a bullet out to the right. Number 7 with a catch. 1st down. What a pass.
Boy, that was a big-time throw by the quarterback. He did a good job of taking what the defense gives him.
It's 1st and 10. Number 4 alone in the backfield.
39-yard line.
Back to pass. Guns it across the middle. It falls incomplete. Kirky just let that one get away from him.
Yeah, and you can see he wants that one back. That's a throw this guy can make in his sleep.
Ball on the 39-yard line. The Seminoles line up with 6 defensive backs. He drops back, lets it fly. He's got the 1st. Number 3 brings him down at the 28. They get about 10 yards on that play. First and 10. The Seminoles bring in their dime package. Back to throw. Number 90 comes away with a sack. 9-yard loss on the play. Ball on the 37. Second and long coming up here. Number 11 is back in the gun. Back to pass. Lets it go. And it's caught. Number 44 with a takedown at the 24-yard line. So they pick up quite a few yards on that play, Kirk.
Well, that was an excellent route, and he did a great job of holding on to the football.
Ball on the 24-yard line. 3rd and 6. The Hurricanes set up in the gun. Number 11 drops to throw. Complete. Hey, what a great catch.
Yeah, he was aware of where the sideline was and made sure he stayed in bounds when he caught the ball.
They're crowding the line.
First and goal.
And they're in. Touchdown. And so they punch it in on the ground, Kirk Herbstreit.
Great job up front by the offensive line. They get a good, strong push that allowed the runner to get it in there for the touchdown.
And he tacks on the extra point. Miami to kick. Number 16 kicks it off. Number 22 fields it in the end zone.
Kickoff return 24 yards by number 22.
It's 1st and 10. Ball on the 25-yard line. High formation here.
First and 10 at the 25-yard line.
Brought down at the 27-yard line. 2-yard pickup.
Short gain.
Ball on their own 27. Number 20 is the deep back as they line up in the I. First down, number 29 brings him down at the 38-yard line. They get a nice run, and that will be enough for the first down.
Yo, this kid has some sensational moves.
Ball on the 38-yard line. They line up in an I. He took it. Number 20 with a takedown at the 42-yard line. 4 yards gain. It's 2nd down and 5 to go. Ball on the 42. The Hurricanes put 4 men up front. Number 4 back to throw. Incomplete pass. It looks like he overthrew him on that one.
I'll tell you, I think the quarterback got rid of that one too quickly, Kirk.
Well, Coach, you're right. They need to work on their timing a little bit more.
Ball on the 42. It's 3rd down and 5 to go. The Hurricanes use a 4-man front here. Back to pass. He throws it. He's got the first. And down he goes at the 48. A 5-yard gain. Ball on the 48. It's 1st and 10. Miami lines up defensively in a 4-3. Drops back. Deep pass down the right side. Number 8 brings him down at the 26-yard line. How about your assessment of that long play, Kirk?
Well, Brad, not only a big pass play, but anytime you can stretch a defense on first or second down like this, you're going to open up your running game.
Ball on the 26. Defense lines up in a 4-3. He drops back. He's looking for his man. Swatted away. And they do a good job at swatting that one away.
You're right, Brad. Excellent awareness by the defender to know where the football is and just get his hand on it.
Ball on the 26-yard line. The Seminoles line up in an I formation.
2nd and 10 at the 26-yard line.
Drops back. Lets it go. And it's caught. Ball on the 17-yard line. 3rd down and short. The Seminoles go with the I formation.
17-yard line.
He spins. And they make the stop at the 15. That'll be enough to move the chain.
You know, you can just look at the offensive line and see the surge, and that running back did a good job of reading the blocks to pick up the first down.
Oh, yeah, Kirk. The big uglies are getting it done up front, aren't they?
It's 1st and 10. The Hurricanes line up with a 3-man front. Number 80 has it. Coach, how about that play?
Yo, was that a sensational pass or what?
I've got to see that one again. And he hits the PAT. Florida State lines up for the kickoff. Number 1 and number 0 deep to return. He kicks it. Number 1 fields it in the end zone.
Kickoff return 38 yards by number
1. 1st and 10. They come out in a nickel.
At the 12-yard line.
Number 11 drops to throw. He passes it. That's a 7-yard gain.
Number 9 for a gain of 7 yards.
Ball on the 19-yard line. It's 2nd down and 2 to go. The Hurricanes line up in an I formation. Drops back to pass. He throws it. Number 7 makes the catch. Ball on the 28-yard line. Florida State lines up in a dime defense here. Number 11 drops back. He unloads it. Number 7 picks it off. Number 3 with a takedown at the 30. And a fantastic individual effort on that one, Coach.
Kirk reminds you a lot of alley ball.
Yeah, Coach, I agree. It kind of reminds me of backyard football. You know, when you kind of bait that quarterback hoping he tosses it up, so when the ball's released, you just step up and make the interception.
It's 1st and 10. The Seminoles come out in the ace formation. Options out. Number 4 is going to be sacked for a loss. And they back up 3 yards on that play. Ball on the 34. 4-man front by the defense. Gets a pitch. Nothing doing. Tackled for a loss on the play. The defense held strong on that play.
They sure did. They're playing some intense football out there now.
Ball on the 34. Miami comes out defensively with 6 defensive backs. Drops back to pass. Rifles it over the middle. It falls incomplete. That drop really hurts, guys.
Yeah, that's a tough break. You just can't drop passes, especially on 3rd down.
Ball on the 34-yard line. Number 49 lines up for a long field goal, and I'm not sure he's got the power to make this one. He gets it up, and it sails right on him. No good.
Is no good.
Ball on their own 34. Florida State lines up defensively in a 4-3. Back to pass. Throws it out there. And it falls incomplete. It looks like he overthrew him on that one.
I'll tell you, I think the quarterback got rid of that one too quickly, Kirk.
Well, Coach, you're right. They need to work on their timing a little bit more.
It's 2nd down and 10 to go. Ball on their own 34. The Hurricanes come out in the ace formation. Back to pass. Now he's scrambling. Rifles this one out to the left. Number 8 tips it away. He was able to just knock that one away.
Yeah, great play here by the defensive back, locating the ball and going up to bat it away.
Third down and 10 coming up. Ball on the 34-yard line. The Seminoles bring in the nickel package. He drops back. He guns it to the left. First down. Tackle at the 35. What an amazing catch. First down.
Boy, Brad, you said it. That is a big-time play there. Spectacular catch and great body control there on the long pass reception.
Ball on the 35-yard line. 1st and 10. Florida State brings in the nickel here. He drops back. He lets it go. Intercepted. And he's taken down at the 31. Good job to pick that ball off.
He did a great job at getting in that passing lane and coming away with the ball.
Let's check out the replay. Ball on their own 31. It's 1st and 10. Defense lines up in a 3-4. He drops back. Lets it fly. Incomplete pass. And an outstanding play defensively.
Yeah, he timed it perfectly and managed to get a hand in there to deflect the ball away.
Second and 10. Florida State comes out with an I formation. Number 20 brings him down at the 34. They got him tied up and he couldn't get anywhere.
Brad, I loved how that defense attacked this run.
Ball on the 34. It's 3rd down and 7 to go. They come out in a nickel. Back to pass. He throws it. Couldn't haul it in. And they do a good job at swatting that one away.
You're right, Brad. Excellent awareness by the defender to know where the football is and get his hand on it.
Ball on their own 34. 4th down and 7 coming up. Number 1 back deep to return. He gets it away. Number 1 fields it at the 19. Number 8 with a takedown at the 16. So they end up losing yardage on the punt return.
Well, sometimes, Brad, when you try to make a big play like he did there, you end up hurting your team in the long run.
It's 1st and 10. Ball on the 16-yard line. The Hurricanes line up in an I formation. Number 44 with the interception. They'll bring him down at the 16. He threw that thing into heavy cover.
Yeah, he did. The quarterback was gambling on that pass. However, he lost.
Here's another look at that nice interception. Ball on the 16. 1st and 10. Miami comes out in a 3-4. Back to pass. He pumps once. Tackle at the 14. They were bringing a heavy rush on that one.
Brad, that's what happens if the quarterback holds the ball too long, waiting for his receivers to get open.
Second and 7. Ball on the 14. 4-3 defense.
And 7 at the 14-yard line.
Drops back. Lets it go. And he dropped it. And he couldn't hang on to that ball.
Well, that's frustrating for the quarterback right there because he threw the ball very well. You have to expect your receivers to make that kind of catch.
It's 3rd down and 7 to go. Florida State lines up in a shotgun set. Number 95 brings him down at the 13. Back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it.
For no gain on the play.
Ball on the 13-yard line. Number 49 in to attempt a short field goal. The kick is up. And it's right down the middle.
The kick is good.
Florida State to kick.
To kick off. Number 5 and number 1.
Number 49 kicks it off. Number 1 fields it in the end zone. Ball on the 21. It's 1st and 10. The Seminoles put 4 men up front.
21-yard line.
Number 11 drops to throw. Throws it out there, and it's incomplete. What happened on that one, Kirk?
Well, I think he's trying a little bit too hard to make that perfect throw. Just step back, fire the football. Don't think so much about it.
Ball on the 21. The Hurricanes set up in the gun.
The 21-yard line.
Drops back to pass. He lets it go. Tipped away. He broke that one up nicely.
You know, that's just what happens when the ball is just out of reach for an interception. It gets tipped.
It's 3rd down and 10. They come out in a nickel. He drops back. He throws it. And it's caught. Number 12 with a takedown at the 39-yard line. They convert on 3rd and long, guys.
With the offense coming through in a big way that time. How about the timing on that route, Coach?
Yeah, Kirk, the quarterback was able to throw to a spot, and the receiver was there to catch it for a 1st and 10. Nice play.
Ball on the 39-yard line. It's 1st and 10. The Seminoles come out in a 4-3. Drops to throw. He's looking for his man. Complete. Number 10 brings him down at the 38-yard line. What do you think of that one, Mr. Corso?
Well, I'm going to say that was a nice catch. He got a bunch of yards there, and that's going to spread this defense out a little.
It's 1st and 10. Ball on the 38-yard line. Number 11 lines up in the shotgun. Drops back. He fires right. And they couldn't hook up on that one. And they do a good job at swatting that one away.
You're right, Brad. Excellent awareness by the defender to know where the football is and get his hand on it.
So it's 2nd and 10. Ball on the 38. Florida State brings in the nickel here. Drops back to pass. Number 11 is going to be sacked for a loss. He grabbed a hold of the quarterback and would not let go.
Well, he's able to slip right through a crack in the line and get a big sack.
Third down and long coming up here. Ball on the 46. Miami comes out in the shotgun. Drops back to pass. He gives a pump fake. He lets it go deep down the middle. Complete. He finally goes down at the 7. And they convert the 3rd down with a long pass play.
You're right, Brad, and that was a long pass play. As a coach, you got to appreciate it when your players come out and perform like these kids are doing right now.
The Hurricanes come to the line with their jumbo package.
1st and goal at the 7-yard line.
They'll bring him down at the 5. A 1-yard gain on the play. They're crowding that line of scrimmage.
2nd and goal at the 5-yard line.
He tries to spin, and he's tackled at the 4-yard line.
He is stopped for no gain on the play.
And that'll bring this quarter to an end. Folks, we've played 3, and our score is Florida State 34, Miami 14. And we're ready for the start of the 4th quarter. They put everyone up on the line. Drops to throw. And it falls incomplete. They're crowding the line. Back to pass. He unloads it. Incomplete. They hold on 4th down.
Now that's how you get a team motivated. I wouldn't be surprised to see their offense take the field with an explosive power attack.
They're deep in their own territory. They come out in a goal line set.
At the 4-yard line.
Makes a move. Number 94 with a takedown at the 7. He didn't really have a chance on that play.
Boy, guys, how about the defense on this play? They sniffed that play out from the start.
It's 2nd down and 7 to go. Ball on the 7. The Hurricanes use a 4-man front here. Number 48 brings him down at the 8. He picks up a yard on the play. Ball on the 8-yard line. It's 3rd down and 6 to go. Miami lines up in a dime defense here. He drops back. He throws it. He's got the first. They convert on 3rd and long, guys.
With the offense coming through in a big way that time. How about the timing on that route, Coach?
Yeah, Kirk, the quarterback was able to throw to a spot, and the receiver was there to catch it for a 1st and 10. Nice play.
Ball on the 27. 1st and 10. Florida State comes to the line. Only one man in the backfield. Drops to throw. And he's going to be sacked for a loss. Loss of a yard.
Number 55. Loss of 1 yard on the play.
Ball on the 26-yard line. Florida State comes out with an I formation. Here comes the defense. There's a missed tackle. Number 45 with a takedown at the 29-yard line. They get 3 yards on the play.
3 on the play.
Ball on the 29-yard line. It's 3rd down and 8 to go. The Seminoles go with the I formation. Here they come. Number 20 tackles him for a loss on the play. That'll be a loss of 1.
Loss of a yard.
Fourth and 9 coming up here. Ball on their own 27. Number 1, the return man. Number 37 gets it off. Number 1 takes it to 25. First and 10. Ball on the 24-yard line. Florida State brings in the nickel here. He pumps once. He lets it go. Number 7 drops it. There was a lot of pressure on the quarterback there.
Yeah, he had to get rid of it in a hurry, and that's why his pass was off.
Ball on the 24-yard line. The defense lines up with 6 DBs.
24-yard line.
Drops back to pass. Lets it fly. Number 9 brings him down at the 36-yard line. And they get the first down on that completion, Coach.
That was a very nice first down conversion. The key to that play was the fact that the quarterback had plenty of time to look downfield.
Ball on their own 36. First and 10. Number 11 is back in the gun. Drops back to pass. Number 11 is going to be sacked for a loss. Loss of 3.
Loss of 3 yards on the play.
Ball on their own 32. They line up in the shotgun. Back to pass. He unloads it. And they rule that one out of bounds.
You know, all you can do here is practice, practice, practice. and eventually that sideline will become like a sixth sense to you.
Fifth play of this drive coming up. They come out in a nickel. Back to pass. He lets it go. Complete. Number 8 with a takedown at the 41-yard line.
Took number 7. A gain of 8 on the play.
It's 4th down now, 5 yards to go. Miami lines up in a shotgun set. Number 11 drops to throw. He's looking for his man. He's knocked out of bounds at the 45-yard line. They didn't make it, and they're going to turn it over on down.
They're just trying to get a little momentum going, but now the pressure lies on their defense.
First and 10. Ball on the 45. 4-3 defense. Number 4 is going to be sacked for a loss. And that'll get this defense fired up.
The offensive lineman had his feet too close together. As an offensive lineman, you got to spread your feet and have a nice base.
Ball on the 49. The Seminoles line up in an I formation. They're bringing it. Brought down at the 49. Nothing gained on the play. Ball on the 49-yard line. Miami lines up with 5 defensive backs. And down he goes at the 45. They got 4 yards on that one. Fourth down and 10. Number 1 awaiting the return. Number 37 gets it off. First and 10. Ball on the 21. The Seminoles bring in the nickel package. Drop back to pass. Lets it fly. And it's caught. He's knocked out of bounds at the 30. He got up in the air and made the catch.
Oh, that's all about timing, too, because if he jumped too early, he wouldn't have been able to catch that ball.
Ball on the 30. Second down and short. Florida State brings in their nickel package. He's going to try and scramble. Guns it across the middle. Number 3 hangs on to it. Number 10 brings him down at the 46. And he delivered a nice pass there, Coach.
Now, this is what I'm talking about. I like what this coach is doing here by opening up his playbook. It's going to have the defense calling for mercy soon.
Ball on the 46-yard line. First and 10. They come out in a nickel. Number 11 back to throw. He passes it, and they couldn't hook up on that one. He had it, but he couldn't hang on to it.
You know, there's really no excuse for that either. He needs to make that catch, Coach.
I agree 100% with you.
Ball on the 46. Ace backfield.
At the 46.
Drops back to pass. He throws it. First down, and he's taken down at the 29. First down, what a pass.
Boy, that was a big-time throw by the quarterback. He did a good job of taking what the defense gives him.
First and 10, ball on the 29. Nickel defense, steps back to pass. Lets it go. Number 7 with a catch. How about that pass, Kirk?
You know, guys, one of the things often overlooked in college football is the relationship between a quarterback and his receiver. Here, you can see that these two are definitely on the same page.
It's second down and 1 to go. Ball on the 20. They line up in the shotgun. He drops back. It falls incomplete. Seventh play of this drive coming up. Miami comes out with an I formation.
20-yard line.
Drops the throw. He's looking for his man, and that one's fallen incomplete. Ball on the 20. They put everyone up on the line.
At the 20-yard line.
Lobs this one over the middle. Complete. Coach, what can you say about that?
All I can say is that was a nice call. The quarterback saw the hole in the defense, and that's a touchdown, folks.
And he tacks on the extra point. Miami ready to kick this one off. Number 16 kicks it off. Number 22 fields it at the 3. And he couldn't get a thing going with that return, Lee Corso.
Brad, let me tell you something about kickoff returns. They require good blocking and precise timing. They didn't have either one of those things right there.
It's first and 10. Ball on the 15-yard line. Florida State sets up in the I. He spins, brought down at the 20-yard line. 4 yards on that play. Ball on the 20. It's second down and 5 to go. Number 4 lines up in the shotgun.
Second and 5 at the 20-yard line.
And he's stopped behind the line. They're stopped 2 yards behind the line.
17-yard line. Fair plus 2 yards.
Third and 7 coming up here. Ball on the 17. They come out in a nickel.
At the 17-yard line.
Back to pass. Gives a little pump fake. He fires right. Number 82 has it. Number 8 with a takedown at the 31. That one was nearly overthrown.
Boy, the receiver makes a great play by putting his hands up. He had enough vertical leap to get his hands on it.
It's 1st and 10. Ball on the 31-yard line. Number 4 is back in the gun. And they got him for a loss. 2-yard loss. Ball on their own 28. The Hurricanes line up in a 4-3. He drops back. Throws it out there. He's got the first. And down he goes at the 49. That ball was thrown high.
Yeah, but this receiver knew he could jump up and get it. Great play.
Here's another look, Coach.
Yo, check out this pass. That kid sees an open man right there and just zips it to him. Good pass. Nice catch, too.
Sixth play of this drive coming up. The Hurricanes come out in a 34 defense. A little juke. Number 17 brings him down at the 48. No gain. Second and 9 coming up here. Ball on the 48. The Seminoles set up in the gun. Rifles it right side. And they rule that one out of bounds.
You know, all you can do here is practice, practice, practice. And eventually that sideline will become like a sixth sense to you.
Ball on the 48-yard line. It's 3rd down and 9 to go. Miami lines up in a dime defense here.
3rd and 9 at the 48-yard line.
Number 29 with a takedown at the 44-yard line. They got 4 yards on that one. It's 4th down now, 5 yards to go. Ball on the 44. Number 1 back to return it. Number 37 gets it off. Coach, how do these punters pin the ball deep like that?
That's due to hours and hours of practice. I'll bet that kid has practiced that punt 1,000 times.
First and 10. Ball on their own 7. Number 4 lines up as a single back. Number 11 drops back. He throws it. Swatted away. Coach, you made a nice defensive play there.
He sure did. He just stuck his hand out and hit the football.
Ball on the 7. It's 2nd down and 10 to go. Miami comes to the line. Only one man in the backfield. Number 11 back to pass. He's going to try and scramble. Guns it across the middle. First down. Number 28 brings him down at the 20-yard line. What a play.
Boy, solid job there by the quarterback, recognizing the defensive coverage and delivering the ball to the open receiver.
Ball on their own 20. It's 1st and 10. The Seminoles use a 4-man front here. It falls incomplete, and that pass was too short.
Yeah, you're right. It's hard to catch an underthrown ball like that. He needs to lead the receiver out there a little bit better.
Ball on the 20. It's second down and 10 to go. They'll bring in their dime package. Back to pass. Fires a bullet over the middle. Number 1 makes the catch. How about that reception, Lee?
A good throw, plus a nice catch, and some good blocking equals to a chunk of yards. That's exactly what you practice all the time, Brad.
First and 10. They line up in the shotgun. Drops to throw. He gives a pump fake. Number 9 hangs on to it. Number 7 with a takedown at the 36-yard line. He jumped up and snagged that ball.
Well, the quarterback threw the ball too high. Credit his receiver for going up to make the play.
Ball on the 36-yard line. The Seminoles line up in a 4-3. He's looking for his man, and that one's fallen incomplete. Ball on the 36. Now it's 3rd and 6 coming up. The Seminoles bring in their dime package. Drops back to pass. He throws it. Incomplete pass. What happened there, Kirk?
Well, as a quarterback, you usually want to put the ball in front of the receiver so he can catch it in stride. Here he just put it a little bit too far in front.
Fourth down and 6. Ball on the 36. Number 21, back deep to return. He gets it off. Ball on the 17. Florida State lines up in a goal line set.
First and 10 at the 17-yard line.
Number 29 brings him down at the 37. Well, they picked up some good yardage on that run before they could bring him down.
Brad, that was a sensational run right there. This kid is very good.
First and 10. Ball on the 37-yard line. The Seminoles line up in an I formation. Number 17 with a takedown at the 40. Oh, Coach, he picked up a few yards on that one.
Brad, tough running by this kid.
Ball on the 40. Florida State will line up in a jumbo set here. Number 29 tackles him for a loss on the play, and they'll lose a yard there.
For a loss of 1 yard.
It's 3rd down and 8 to go. Ball on the 38. The Seminoles line up in a goal line formation. Number 48 brings him down at the 42-yard line.
The defense takes a timeout on the play.
It's 4th down, 4 yards to go. Ball on their own 42. Number 1, the return man. Number 37 gets it off. Number 1 takes from the 10.
Catch made by number
1. First and 10. Ball on the 10. Miami comes out in the shotgun. Back to throw. Rifles it over the middle, and it's incomplete. What happened on that one, Kirk?
Well, I think he's trying a little bit too hard to make that perfect throw. Just step back, fire the football. Don't think so much about it.
Ball on their own 10, so it's 2nd and 10. Florida State brings in the nickel here. Drops back to pass. Fires a bullet over the middle. It's 3rd down and 10. The Hurricanes go with the I formation. Steps back to pass. And they couldn't hook up on that one. Fourth and 10 coming up. Florida State lines up with 5 defensive backs. He drops back. He throws it. He's got the first. Number 28 with a takedown at the 22. Ball on their own 22. 1st and 10. Florida State brings in their nickel package. Complete. He's knocked out of bounds at the 25-yard line. That'll be a gain of 3 yards. Second and 6. Ball on the 25. The Seminoles line up in a nickel back. Number 11 steps back to pass. He lets it go. Incomplete pass. Ball on the 25. They come out in a nickel.
6 at the 25-yard line.
Back to pass. He's looking for his man, and it's caught. And he's shoved out of bounds at the 29-yard line. Doesn't get enough for the first down.
Yeah, nice job of making a few yards, but they got to be disappointed they didn't make the first down.
Fourth down and 3. Ball on their own 29. High formation here.
And 3 at the 29-yard line.
Number 11 drops to throw. He passes it. Complete. They get the first down, guys. Is that crazy or what?
Well, you said it. This is actually a nice play. The fact that they convert on 4th down makes it even more special.
It's 1st and 10. Florida State lines up in a dime defense here. Drops back to pass. He's scrambling. Number 11 is going to be sacked for a loss.
The offense takes a timeout on the play.
Ball on their own 26. Miami lines up in the ace set. Steps back to pass. He fires right, and it falls incomplete. Nice job getting a hand on that one.
Yeah, really good heads-up play there to get a hand on the football by the defense.
Ball on the 26. 3rd and long. Miami lines up in a shotgun set. Drops back to pass. He gives a pump fake. He throws it, and that one's fallen incomplete. That was a risky pass there.
Yeah, he knew his receiver was covered, but he tried to force it in there anyway. That's way too dangerous. You got to be smarter than that.
It's 4th down and a long ways to go. Ball on the 26-yard line. Florida State comes out defensively with 6 defensive backs. Fires deep down the right side, and the D answered the call there.
And this is huge for them. It's setting up the stage for their offense to take the field and make some big-time plays.
It's 1st and 10. Ball on the 40-yard line. Miami comes out in a 4-3.
Timeout called by the defense.
Ball on the 42. Four-3 defense. They're bringing it. Ball on the 44-yard line. Florida State lines up in a goal line set. He jukes. Number 55 brings him down at the 43-yard line. 1 yard on the play.
That makes the score Florida State 34, Miami 21.
And that's the end of the game. Coach, what's your final thought on the game?
Well, it was a pretty good game by both teams, but I was really impressed the way this game